it rolls us on to the main event, which everybody's been waiting for, and that's GSP versus Johny Hendricks. And in a funny way, this main event fight could play out the same way. If GSP is able to take Johny Hendricks to the ground, then it will be a boring, which is a thing that we see with GSP all the time. He's so good. He's such a technician. He's methodical about how the way he comes into his fights and how he fights his opponents. But George and I have always said this, and some people, especially I think our friends in Canada, get pissed at us, but it's just so fucking boring. It's so boring. And I don't think, I do think this, I don't think Johny Hendricks is going to let that happen.
I think he's going to try his darndest. But let me ask you a real simple question, and it's got a real easy answer. Who has been able to stop GSP's takedown?
Nobody.
Exactly. So I just don't believe Henderson's going to be the one. Now, if GSP wins or loses this fight, I have a feeling this is going to be his last fight in the UFC, win or lose.
I think so, too. I think, go ahead.
I'm about to say, I think he's seeing that movie money. I think he might have some more scripts sitting there at the house, and he's starting to go, well, I can stay in shape, but I don't need to be in MMA shape. He's got a a Powerade commercial or a Gatorade commercial?
Powerade, I don't know. He's got so many. He's got so many mainstream sponsors now.
Right. Well, I've seen him in the States. Like that's what's strange because he's huge in Canada. He's won like the Mr. Canada award, umpteen times. And so
look at it this way, George. At the end of the day, if he steps away from MMA, retires, or maybe takes a break, a hiatus from it, it is so much easier to prepare for a movie role physically. Like, he could take gear. He doesn't have to worry about not taking PEDs. Like, he could take a little bit of sauce and stuff to prepare him for his roles. His training is different. He doesn't have to worry about making weight. It's so much easier just to look good. You know what I'm saying?
Eat that cheeseburger.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Eat some pizza.
Bodybuilders look great. They can look great, but can any of those motherfuckers fight in the octagon? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? So his preparation for a movie, it'd be a fraction of what it is for these fights,
Right. Now, back to the fight, because that's what we're here to talk about. Does Johny Hendricks stand a chance? Yes, he has a puncher's chance, and we all know that GSP's jaw is his weakest asset. Right. His double leg takedown is the best in the 170 class in history at this point.
Right.
He's developed a ferocious jab. He's crazy athletic. He's got he's got all the tools, and he has all the tools, and that's why he's undefeated. And he's gone on this run. He's not undefeated, but he's undefeated since 2007, I think was his last loss. Yeah. So he's a champ for a reason, and we all know how this guy holds the belt.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. It's like I said when we started with it. It's just he looks at what your weaknesses are. He exploits them, and then basically he uses all his strengths and say, okay, now if I'm Hendricks camp, I'm thinking, okay, all I'm doing is fucking practicing stuff and takedowns, and getting on the inside. Because I think if you press the action if you just really come forward with GSP and you tap him, I don't think GSP has a jaw. He's just so fucking good that no one gets a chance to test it. The one time he did, Matt Serra, bam, he was snoring. He got a TKO against GSP.
Well, what I find funny is if you look at GSP's record, his three since his loss. Mm-hmm. In April of 2007, he's had, anytime he fights what I consider to be smaller guys in his weight class, Matt Hughes was jacked, but he was short and compact. Right. Matt Serra, short and compact. BJ was too fucking small to be fighting at 170. Those are the only three guys he's finished. That's it.
Yeah.
He hasn't finished anyone his size or bigger, ever.
No, because his size, those shorter guys, he can use his, obviously he can use his range and pepper them, and he's great at stuffing takedowns as well as taking you down to the canvas. To the floor. But I just, you're right, George. When he fights somebody of his stature, then he's like, okay, I've got to keep my range. I've got to take them down. I've got to wear them out. I've got to tire them, and then I can take advantage of my other tools. And he's smart, and his camp is smart, and we know, Greg Jackson is going to have him, is he still working with Greg Jackson all the time? I don't even know.
Is the Pope white?
Right. So anyway,
dumbass. But I don't know about how you guys treat your friends out there, but usually Kevin and I allow each other one stupid question a month, and Kevin just burned his up on November 3rd.
It's November 4th, bitch.
Whatever. But I'm gonna tell you. You want to know what I find to be Hendricks' biggest disadvantage in this fight?
What?
He's 5'9" with a 69-inch reach.
Yeah.
GSP has a 7-inch reach advantage on this kid.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. He's gonna have to get in the inside.
Yeah,
Who do you
GSP
think is stronger
going to
between
fucking
those
pepper
two?
the shit out of this kid with his jab.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Anyway, guys, thoughts and comments below.